Hey everybody and welcome. This is Amanda Moxley with the one and only Julia Slike, and we want to welcome you today to today's training call, free training call, where you're going to learn the 3 biggest mistakes to avoid when you build your online service-based business and how you can avoid them. Okay, so Julia is an absolute expert. You guys are going to love her. I've known her a couple of years and I absolutely love her knowledge, her branding, her energy. I mean, this girl is a marketing wizard, I'd say. She's been in business for over 18 years. She has created successful businesses in many different kinds of industries, and she's going to come on here because she's definitely learned the hard way and the fun way how to build a successful online business. So she's going to give you guys and gals some really good tips today. So I'm going to go ahead and give you her formal bio, and then I will start the interview. So Julia Slike is a life and business coach, creative director, and founder of Julia Slike and Company, a bespoke branding boutique for fun, sassy, and soulful entrepreneurs doing it all and getting tired of it. That is so true. Her company partners with small businesses with big hearts to create an authentic marketing plan, one that feels so good you never feel like you're selling and your clients never feel like they are being sold to. With personal branding that attracts clients they adore. Julia also teaches brand new solopreneurs exactly how to organically build a list tribe, test offers, and make money with it in 60 days without opt-ins, newsletters, websites, webinars, sales calls, or anything complicated or automated in her signature program, Nail Your Niche. That's amazing. Julia is also creator and head coach for Authentic Marketing Academy, Direct Sales School, a membership group, the Solopreneur Secret Society, and a mastermind group, the Solopreneur Sisterhood, who they're heading to Mexico on a retreat. After designing her own wedding invitations, she opened a custom stationery studio from 2000 to 2010, which then closed to go full-time with her quirky, growing 31 Gifts business that has over 10 million in sales since 2009. She still has a team of 200 plus women under her. So amazing. We are in good hands. You can find out more about Julia and Company at juliaslike.com. That's juliaslike.com. Welcome, Julia.
Thank you, Amanda. I'm excited to talk to you today.
Oh my gosh, you're amazing. Okay, so let's get into this. So, first of all, just tell us a little bit about your story and how what did you do? You barely made any money for the first 2 years and then you ended up having a 10K payday, something cool like that. Tell us a little bit about you and your story.
Something like that. Well, I stumbled into the whole online world as a leader with my direct sales company. And I just fell down this rabbit hole of all this goodness and what's available. And it was like, it's kind of like once you see something, you can't unsee it. So once I knew like what's possible, and that there's these like amazing women like yourself and my other people have inspired me along the way, that they're wives and they're moms and they're like building these like online empires and they're doing what they want when they want and working from wherever they want. I'm like, give me a piece of that.
Oh, yeah. Yep.
So I made a full-time job out of learning everything I could about building a business online for 2 years. And my problem was, like, I invest a little bit here, some one-on-one coaching, a group program, a course, a this and a that, a this and a that. And, like, some people are really good marketers, and I would, think that this is the one thing, this program is going to change my life. And that went on for about 2 years.
Okay.
Until I was getting really, really frustrated, and I was like, what? I tried all these things that people are telling me to do, and it wasn't working for me.
No.
So I just was like, sat down with a blank paper. I know you're like me, you're a pen to paper girl, and I was just like, what do I need? I was like, well, first of all, I need something to sell, and then second of all, I need someone to sell it to. All right, so then what's that customer journey look like? And I mapped it out with what I call now my authentic marketing plan, which is like the foundation of the work that I teach others to do, and then it all dialed in. And part of the thing I wanted to sell was one-on-one coaching and a group program. And so after I got fierce on that, I actually did take one program that did help me change my life, and in that I learned how to build a course. And so I built my course, and I kind of did some things that I wasn't taught that were just intuitive to me, and I tested it, and it worked really well, and that's when I had my payday.
Oh, thank God. I know. So you basically struggled. You took learning everything you could about online marketing as a full-time hobby / job, but it paid off. I mean, you were like doing it's like a master's degree, and you were like doing, if you want to think about it, you were doing an internship and studying, and then you figured out a really good program, and you put the program, and then you finally had this payday. And so you're going to tell us today what are the 3 common mistakes in building a service-based business and how we can avoid them. So why don't we just start with number 1, if you will?
Yeah. Well, that leads me to number 1, which is too many courses and sources. So don't do what I do, and don't take courses and every program and free thing under the sun for 2 years.
Okay.
Get really focused on what it is you need to learn. So when I created my authentic marketing map, and I was like, oh, I want to do a course, I'm like, well, I kind of need to learn how to, I've taken a bunch of courses, so that was a big influence on how I taught it, but I needed someone, just kind of show me the ways that have done courses before. So when I got really specific on what it was I needed, then that just magically appeared, and I find that from my clients too. They're like, it's like when the student is ready, the teacher appears. So it's that kind of, so be really intentional with what it is that you need to learn, and that will find you, and not buying into all the marketing that this is the one thing that's going to change my life, and then making purchases out of FOMO.
Okay, out of FOMO means fear of missing out. So what you're saying is don't buy a whole bunch of programs and from different courses and different sources. Okay, so what are the 3 things that we can do that will put us miles ahead of our competition? Like, what can we do? What can people do who are just building, who are in that, buying all this stuff and really getting sucked into it? So what can they do instead?
Yeah, well, first of all, I would just say, I just put a break and, just stop doing it, because it will just take you down a rabbit hole. And then instead of absorbing everything and becoming a content consumer,
okay,
become a content creator. Start putting out 2 times as much as you're putting in. So kind of think of it as the 80-20 rule in reverse.
Yeah.
So instead of consuming 80% of content and putting out 20, we'll turn that around so that you're taking in what you're learning, but also sharing it.
Yeah, I love that. So stop being a consumer and be a player. Be a player and get in the game and give and share value. Don't just sit there and consume, right? And that goes for really anything in life these days. Stop consuming so much and start showing up and serving. I love it. Okay.
Yeah, show up and serve, baby.
Yeah.
And then the third step to that is find mentors you like. Not just like love and adore. That's why I found you. And it's you have to be in alignment with the mentor, someone that has the lifestyle you want. There's the values that you share, someone that you are that's not promising you something, someone that you're just this person gets it. They're farther down the road than I've been, and it's this calling inside you to work with them. So that's the thing, not just finding a mentor, but finding a mentor that's just in your gut is yes, this is the mentor for me.
I love what you're saying about that, because I definitely have made, I've invested hundreds of thousands of dollars in my mentoring, coaching, and receiving, and because I've had my business for 12 years now. And there's some mentors I've worked with, and I just don't feel that heart connection with them whatsoever. They're just not, maybe they're not heart-based, or maybe they are, but in a different way that doesn't align with me. And that is, I really, really believe that is a very important factor. So I love that you're bringing that up. So be a contributor and find the right mentor. Yeah. Okay. So this is really what happens. Okay, keep going. And then what else? What is the third thing that we can do to avoid with this topic?
Yeah. Well, I said, one thing is people feel that they're a fraud, And so many people are just afraid to be themselves, but it's that cliche thing, right? Like, be yourself because everybody else is taken.
Right.
And the things that come naturally to you are the things that make you amazing and that you think isn't special about you, but it actually is. And I even designed a whole, like, mini challenge around it. I called it my Like a Boss challenge. And it's actually on my website, julieslake.com/likeaboss. And there's a worksheet there because it's like, when I do this with my clients, and this is, something I've done with you in your workshops, is like, you make a list of, like, what makes you so awesome. And when you start doing that and you, like, look at it, it's like, oh, like, I'm not a fraud. I'm the real deal. I've got this.
Yeah.
And so you just gotta, like, own, like you say it all the time, right? Like, own that.
Own it, baby.
You gotta own it.
Yeah, exactly. You really do have to own it. And the thing is, I think in the entrepreneurial world, like, if you had a job, and you would probably get validated from your job, right? From your boss or your coworkers or your clients, and you wouldn't take it as personally when you work in a job. But when you're an entrepreneur and you are the front of your business, you're going to, it's going to question your own, worth and value. You're going to take it more personally. So I love what you're saying about that, is like, really own the value, write down all of the things that make you an expert and what makes you unique. And I really love what you said in the beginning, because a lot of people do feel like a fraud, and this is one of the common mistakes they have. So they try to act like everyone else and be like everyone else, and it's all like cookie cutter. And so what you're saying, and what I love your branding so much, is it's so authentically you and so gorgeous, and just quirky and fun and playful, and it's great. So this is and I'll just share a funny personal story. When I first started my business, I got online in like '08, and I had this website, and I wanted this, and I had a caricature made of me, because my coach at the time, that's what she had, and I love that too. So I was like, I'm going to do a caricature. So I had this caricature of this, like, blonde, straight hair in this hot pink dress with, like, big boobs, which I don't have, and like this perfect, it's a caricature, right? And then I, like, showed it to my mom, and I showed it to my family, and I showed it to some friends, and like, what are you doing? That's nothing like you. Like, what? Like, you just be you. And I was like, it was Allie Brown. Like, I was like, I want to be like Allie Brown, the queen of the internet back then. I just wanted to be like her. So, we've all been there, but I think the more you can really heal and transform and be yourself, that's just so much more authentic, and people really love that.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay. So, all right. So then what else can we do here? How can we avoid feeling like a fraud or making mistakes online?
The big thing to not feeling like a fraud is test marketing what you do, because you're not going to feel, if you test what you offer and you get people freaking results, you're going to feel like a rock star, and you're going to have validation. It's not this hope and this whim. Well, I think I can do this, or these are the results I've gotten for myself. If you you bring it to market, you test, right? Like, that's what industries do. They test market something before they bring it to market. So you test market your service, and you refine it, and then you bring it to the market, and then you are so, like, sold on your own product, because because you have people that have gotten tangible results from the service that you provide.
So
testing it really.
I love this. Can you tell me a little bit about it? Because I know that you, Julia, have a really fun story. Do you mind sharing? You shared it on stage at my recent event, but can you just share your story about what you did to test it and what you did? Because I think it was really valuable for people, like, because you're a living, breathing example of this.
Yeah. So I knew I wanted to teach people how to, market their business online, and I put together my like a 30-day program, and we met weekly, and I taught them. And when I did this, I had first I did a market research survey to make sure I was on track with what I wanted to teach, as I was. And then...
So you did market research.
I put a call out. Yep, did market research.
Okay.
And then I put a call out in just other people's Facebook groups, like, hey, looking for beta testers. I'm going to teach, a program on marketing. And if you want to know more, you can apply here. And I had like pretty much 300 people apply. And when it was all said and done, I had 270 students enrolled in my classroom. And so I worked with them for what ended up being 6 weeks. I gave it my all. They were fantastic students, the ones that really, did the work. And so when I got to the end of our time together, I made an invitation to them, what I call a no-brainer invitation. So I had worked for free. I say free works for me. Some people do charge, a nominal fee when we're beta testing stuff. And so I made an offer, and $997 offer, and I had like 50 people take me up. So I went from having like no money the month before to having people, multiple people buy a $997 offer, which had never happened to me in my life. It was really cool.
That is amazing. So you did market research, you did somewhat of a survey, you posted this survey to your own list, your own community, and different Facebook groups. You asked them to beta test. You asked them if they would be a part of your beta test of the 6-week program where you would work for free and help them with their transformation. And 200 people went through, and in 6 weeks after that, you say free works for me, and 6 weeks after that, you created a $997 program, and you had like up to 10 sales is what I think you said. So that's great. I love this. And it's good because you were just starting out. Okay. So, and then do you like it that I like rephrase everything you just said? I hope everyone finds value in that. But that's genius. Okay. Huge. So then you kind of went from not being really well known possibly to being really well known and obviously helping a lot of people and getting them results. And then you knew your product worked. So. Yeah, this is really good. I did something.
Even better than that.
What?
Was it built my tribe? Like I have raving fans that I've worked with since that moment, and they just, I adore them and they adore me, and it's just like a really great relationship. So it's built they say, you should have like 100 loyal fans, and so that was like the beginning of me like creating my like loyal fan base.
Mm-hmm. I love that. And and then that fan base grows and grows and grows, and then of course it just keeps expanding from there. So, and it reminds me when I first started back out in 2007, 10 years ago now. Well, one of my first online programs. This is very similar. I had a 21-day cleanse, and I had a beta test, and I took 20 people through the cleanse. But I had them pay a nominal fee, like $60 or something, because I figured, hey, if they're going to pay money, then they'll be invested. And they had to buy some products too. And then I used all of their success stories. And then I launched it again after that, because there is a lot to be said about the social proof and having success stories. And then you can actually see that your work works. So, genius.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so, all right, so are there any other things? You said 3 things that will put you miles ahead of your competition. Is there anything else in that bullet point?
Yeah, you also want to have a plan. So the 3 big problems are too many courses and sources. You're feeling like a fraud, and then worst of all, you have no plan. You're throwing spaghetti at the wall. You're seeing what sticks. You're just spinning your wheels because you're frazzled, overwhelmed mess because you really don't know what you're supposed to be doing because you don't have this plan figured out. So you need to get like fierce focus. You need to get your booty into action, and you need to create a freaking plan. Like you need a plan, Dan.
Yep, you do.
And then you have that road, your GPS, to go where you want to go.
Mm-hmm. Yep. Yeah, you really, really do. And it's hard to get a plan. That's why I think coaching is so valuable, and working with someone like you. It's like, because then you help them get a plan, and then they move forward and they focus. And exactly. It's everything. I mean, God, if you don't have a plan, then plan to fail, right? What do they say? If you don't have a plan, plan to fail. All right. So those are the 3 things. How do you own your expertise like a boss and attract and not chase your dream clients?
Well, that's just by being yourself. And, I've been teaching this, and it's been working for some clients clients is just leading with their values. They're like, well, I don't know what, they don't know what to talk about, what to do with Facebook Live, what to blog about. And it's not about sharing more things with more people. It's just keep sharing the same things with more people. And so when you just come and you share what's important to you, then other people are going to align, as I do, like why I like you is you're not working crazy hours, you've been married a long time, you got a couple kids, you're running this business. So like that attracts, like just you being you is what attracts me to you. As my clients, find something in me and my beliefs and my lifestyle that attracts them. So you just be yourself, and people, it's like magic. Like my clients will tell me, like, I don't know where this person came from. Like, God, it's magic. It just happens. You're just doing your thing.
Right, exactly. You being you. So tell me though, so how do you get out to larger and larger audiences so people can actually see you, get to know you? And do you have any sort of systems that you would recommend for people to post on social media, like a system or how much they should share or when they should share, things like that, and where?
Well, I think that you should be consistent.
Yeah.
I made a goal for the month of August to make sure I make invitations for people to work with me or sign up for a free training or have a conversation with me, some sort of offer, because if if your bank account isn't where you want to be, it's probably because you're not making enough offers. And so it's just about building the relations. I'm all about relationships with employees, just planting those seeds and messaging people and having conversations with people that I've built relationships with. I used to spend a lot of time in other Facebook groups, but now I've got my own tribe, which is so I spend most of my time with them, and then I like email marketing, and it just feels less icky to me to like build my own community and then talk to them. And so I use Facebook ads and my newsletter and my own Facebook groups to share my message. That's what I do.
Oh, I love it. Exactly. So just really consistency is king. and then obviously making offers and invitations for free things, paid things, consultations, following up, building relationships. Yeah, this is all pretty good basic business stuff that a lot of people don't do. Like they're more, like you were saying in the beginning, they're more of the consuming mentality versus the giving and the serving and the showing up mentality. They're just sitting there like sucking it all in. So good. Okay, so what to do so you never spin your wheels again, and this one thing changed your business like wow.
Yeah, that was getting really clear on my marketing plan, and just having that compass and knowing who I wanted to help and how I wanted to help them, and then all roads to Rome. So my social media posts, my freebies, my video, everything I do is beginning of that customer journey, aka funnel. Taking them down to that path into the Julia jungle.
Yeah.
And all that I can provide for them. So I can't, I seriously cannot remember the last time I was like, oh my God, I don't know what to do. And I remember 2 years ago, that was every day. I would sit at my desk and just put my hands on my head and be like, I am so confused. Everybody's like, what do I do first? I literally did not know. And then once I got clear on the end of the path and the beginning of the path and all the steps in between to take someone's free content to paying client, now I have too many ideas, and I have to scale myself back and stay focused on one journey at a time, and not the 10 paths that lead to the Julia jungle, at the end. So now I stay focused on one path, right? Focus on follow one course until successful.
Right. I love it. Yeah. Okay. So this is really important. So what you're saying to people, and if you're taking notes, which I'm taking notes, I always take notes, is that you need to know your client journey from A to Z and the path that you take them down from your freebie all the way to your paid offer, and what other kind of like little nuggets or freebies and value you can throw in on that journey is what you're saying. And so you focus on that path. And then how did you figure out like what you're awesome at, like who to help and how to help? Like how did you, because I know that's been a journey for you, but for people listening who might be like, they're multi-passionate, multi-talented, they have a lot of gifts, skills, and desires. And then there's that whole thing, well, you got to do something that makes money, right? But like they may not have like, I don't know, how do you help people figure this out?
Mm-hmm. Well, that's the whole, like, doing the work. Like, the work is how you figure it out, which is why I'm such a huge proponent of the beta testing, because once you just get in there and you roll up your sleeves and you do the work, and, you know, when you're new to a service-based business and you're working for free, you're figuring that out.
Yep.
The more you do it, like, I would spend one call, like, screen sharing someone in Squarespace how to put their pixel, and I was like, kill me now. I'm like, this is not how I want to spend my one-on-one coaching time with someone is showing them how to do that. So then that's where I started putting all the content together for my marketing academy. It was all the things that were taking my time that I was teaching, that I wasn't coaching, that I was teaching my clients, and I packaged them all up into a system that now when I work with them, I'm basically taking them through that system, but then if I'm not doing their landing page and that they're doing it themselves, I can, here's the tutorials. And then so I'm not spending our coaching call teaching them a check. It's like I already have the resources created, and then they can go do that, or they can have me do that.
Right.
But I didn't know that until I started doing it, and I was like, this isn't how a coaching call should be. I got to figure out a solution to this.
Yeah, it's so true. I love it. So you figured it out by working with people, figuring out what you don't like to do in some ways. And then how to create a system over the things that you are repetitively saying over and over and over to people.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And I know like one of the things that you have for people, and I know you're going to share it today, but maybe this is a really good time because this is a lot, and Julia is a genius. I think you're a real genius with this. I mean, she's just got like, it is a jungle when you get into the Julia world, and she's just got tons of ideas. She's like a classic entrepreneur, been an entrepreneur for over 18 years. So I know you have this marketing map intensive, and you also have a free gift. Can you tell us a little bit more about that and who that's for and what you do in those intensives?
Yeah. So the marketing map is the beginning of my customer journey, and so I've broken it down so that you can actually walk yourself through the map, and then you can, if you're like a boss and you know how to implement and you can take action, you have all the steps you need to do that. But I realize that some people get lost in the overwhelm and just need someone to walk them through those steps. So the only way I work outside of with my clients, one-on-one students, is through what I have a marketing map intensive, and I'm making a special offer to your tribe only, like a price that's crazy.
Yeah.
And that is, I'm all about numbers now. 111. So the regular price is $333, but anybody listening to the call or the replay can snag that up for $111, and it's actually 2 private coaching calls with me, and then I will actually, you just have to talk to me, and then I get out my whiteboard, and I make that entire marketing map. I help you hash out that whole journey from where they come into contact with you on social media to what your offers are, and if you don't have your offers, I help you name them, price them, figure out what container they are, and so at the end of the call, I actually hand you over a file with that whole marketing map, so you know exactly what steps to take, and you know you have a detailed checklist of what you need to do to implement that journey.
Dude, that's so juicy. Lisa Prado says, sign me up, please. Okay, where can they sign up for this?
If you go to juliaslike.com/Amanda, that will give you the marketing map,
Okay.
and then I set the invitation. Like I said, it's not on my website. It's like a top secret offer.
Oh yeah, I'm gonna put that in
link
here.
to sign.
That is-
JuliaSlike.com/Amanda. You'll get the top secret link to that.
I just
Oh,
typed it in the
marketing
webcam.
message.
That's amazing. I mean, just to get in there and map all this shiz out and name all your stuff and get your little funnel and get this clarity it's just so necessary. I mean, I have a coach, I get coached too, and it's just like, without this stuff, you just go crazy. So I would recommend, now, how many spots do you have available? Because that's just too good of a deal. It's $111. That's a no-brainer.
I have 3 spots available
What?
for August. Three spots.
Okay, 3 spots. Okay, so run and grab that if that's what you want. There's only 3 spots, and I've got, this email is going out to hundreds of thousands, or not hundreds, thousands of thousands and thousands of people. So I would get on that, ladies and gents. So, okay, and then tell me what this free gift is. Let's say, okay, what's that free marketing map that we get that's the free gift? Because that's super valuable also.
Yep, that's actually in the same link, but it's a workbook, a 5-step guide that walks you through the basics, right? Number 1, having something to sell. So if you don't know what to sell, I have a whole worksheet that works you through how to create something for anywhere from $7 to $3,000, and then how to turn that into a signature offer and all the steps in between. So literally, like, if you do this map, you'll have your marketing plan, and then you can redeem that workbook for a laser coaching session with me as well. So if you...
I'm signing up right now, girl.
I know you're committed.
Keep going.
I know you're going to figure it out. And when you hand me the workbook, then we can use that laser coaching call to get you really focused on the next 5 steps. So I always want you to know what's next, because that was where I struggled in my businesses. I just was so confused. I didn't know what to do, and I just wanted someone to tell me what to do next. So I'll give you the 5 steps to know what to do next when you complete your marketing map.
Oh, that's awesome. And that's if we do a free call with you, or a strategy call, or whatever you call those calls.
Yeah, earn the strategy call. So you get the strategy call once you work your way through the map. And if you get stuck working on the map, and you need help, I can certainly do that. But you have to make an effort, because I matched my effort with yours. So you got to bring something to the call too.
Yeah, no kidding, right?
So I'm gonna bring it all. I don't anything.
Okay,
if anything, I bring it.
Sorry.
Someone.
I just signed up, and I'm already getting your Facebook messengers. This girl is really good at marketing. She's already got her systems already in mind. Yay! Awesome, Julia. This is so valuable. So that's JuliaSlike.com/Amanda. And she has a marketing map, which is a free guidebook, which is absolutely beautiful. I mean, I'm a big fan of your branding. It's beautiful. You get the feeling of you, the energy, and you're just an absolute pro, Julia. People are literally nuts to not jump on this. So you get the free gift, and then you also, if you want to, she has 3 spots available for the $111, 111, for August. And that's where she'll actually sit with you, work with you for those 2 hours. I'm assuming it's 2 hours for 2 calls, to help you map out your entire marketing funnel from A to Z, name your programs, get your marketing, everything organized. So that's huge. Super huge. Yay. All right. So, what would you tell someone who's just starting out? What would be your best advice for someone who is just starting out online? In addition to
My
what you
best
shared.
advice would, number 1, figure out what you're selling, because, like, if you're a coach, nobody wants to buy a 3-month coaching package. What is that? But somebody wants to buy how to, bring balance to your wardrobe in 30 days, or, something like, it has to be really specific, so that they know the results they're going to get at the end of that coaching session. But just pick one thing. Start practicing it for free. Once you have those testimonies and the feedback of practicing it for free, then start to sell it, and just keep selling that. Keep raising the price the more you sell. Then add on something, but just start out with something to sell. And that's why I teach my students how to create a course, because they have all this expertise and they want to teach, and they just don't know how to package all their information and all their knowledge and their life experience into something tangible that someone can say, yes, I want that. And so I have 2 life coaches now and an author that I'm taking through that program, and it's just the results that their people are getting is great. And now they're like, oh, I've got this thing, like, know what their thing is. Like, they're not just a life coach now. They're like, the one is like the Happy Plan Project. So it's like, now she said, I'm the creator of the Happy Plan Project, and you can get on board for that versus just hiring her as a life coach.
Right. So look at this. This is huge. So I see a lot of people. I was looking online and I was looking at some. All right, I'll just admit it. I'm looking at doing some therapy. All right. So some marital therapy to help. Like, this is my year. I'm investing in my marriage even more. I mean, I've been happily married for 18 years, but there's still work to do, right? So we're looking online on some different counselors, and so many of these counselors, I mean, they're not trained as marketers, but I'm just giving an example. And so many coaches and people in our industry, they're generalists and not specialists. So I went to someone who was specializing in exactly what I wanted support with in our marriage, and I'm hiring that person. So I see so much general, vanilla, just not specific to solving a certain problem. And I hear this is exactly what you're saying to everyone, like, figure out what you're selling. And wouldn't you say that what they're selling needs to solve a problem that the people actually are aware that they have? Like, don't make it some problem that they're not even aware that they're not even aware and conscious that they have this problem. Does that make sense?
Yeah. I'm trying to think, like, because I'm working with some life coaches now, and that's like, so, like, that almost is like vague, but I feel like, when people want to have their life better, like, there is like a calling. Now, the reason they may want to have their life, improve might be different. But the premise of having a life coach is like personal development. But if you say you're a life coach for entrepreneurs, or you're a life coach for moms with young kids, or you're a life coach for women in perimenopause, something like, when you get really specific, then you can say, like, yeah, sign me up for that.
Right. I think people, especially this day and age where there is more competition, there are more people, which is so great because there's a lot of hurting in the world. Like, go look at any airport. Go look at any airport situation, or a big chain grocery store or something. You're going to see that people are really needing help, and they need people like us to help them. But we have to be. So there's a lot of people out there that are like, I want to unleash my gifts and I want to, help people, but their marketing is such a miss, and that's what's so sad about it, is that they're so gifted and talented, but they're not getting the clients, and they're not getting the tribe, and they're not building it. So I think it's personally because they're not solving a problem, that it's just too general in their language. So you have to be specific. Now, and I know that a lot of these people that have done what?
Yeah, I was going to say, I have a personal example that actually, in the beginning of my online career, when I was just practicing with clients, and because I have a brand marketing background, I would get on these practice calls, and people would be like, first of all, they'd be hesitant to sign up because they're like, well, what? Like, how can you help me? And I'm like, oh, I'm like Vanilla Ice. You got a problem? I'll solve it. And they're like, but, like, what do you do? And I'm like, oh, I'm a life coach and a business coach, and I can help you with branding, I can help you with marketing. And they would get on these calls, and they, like, wouldn't even know what to talk about because they were so confused of, like, they wanted to know, how can you help me? And I couldn't articulate exactly how I could help them because it was like, well, I can help you with anything. So now, like, I've gotten really clear with, I help heart-based, small businesses with big hearts, get their marketing plan in place. I know that's what I do now, but in the beginning I didn't know, and people had no idea how I could help them, and they did not hire me.
Right, exactly. Yeah, broad is broke. And when I was first starting out my health coaching, my first business was called Eating for Energy, and then it was Body Transformation Coach, which was pretty good, I think, Body Transformation. And then it didn't click for me until it didn't click for me either until after working with people, time in the saddle, lots of time, lots and lots and lots of clients at a very reduced rate that I charge now, and time in the saddle with them. And, I'm a biker, so I usually say stuff about the bike. But the point is, time in the office, time on the phone, coaching, and getting clear on what I do. And when I got clear who I was and what I did as a health coach back in the late 2000s, it was that I helped women move beyond their body barrier. That there's a barrier that was blocking them, and once they moved through that body barrier, then they could focus on the other issues in their life. But this was a huge ass barrier that was blocking them. So once I got that, then I created a 6-figure business, and it took a while, but I got there. So as a health coach, and then the same thing as a business coach, I transformed into the specifics that I help people with now is around the speaking and their voice. And however, I'm still at this point, what else? Maybe there's something else I want to do. We're these creative, spiritual entrepreneurs that, it doesn't end. And even though I've been doing it for almost 13 years now, I still am at this place okay, well, what do I sell now? So that's why working with a coach and hopping on this this mini intensive with you is super smart. And real quick, I know you had said something about one of your clients that did this intensive, and what happened to her right after that? She got X amount of clients, and what happened? There was some good stuff.
Yeah, well, a lot of good things. But she was supposed to go back to work, and out of the blue, she was on maternity leave, and she was going back to work, and she didn't want to, and her husband called her out of the blue and was like, my father just said he doesn't want you to go back to work, and he believes in your business, and he wants you to continue building it and not go back to work. She could have never in a million years, planned that, but the phone call literally happened the day after, and I said, girl, you did that because you showed up to that call. You're like, I'm getting my plan on. I'm figuring this out. I'm going to do this. And look how the universe came and supported you in a way that you would never have thought.
Yeah.
Then she goes on to sign her first 2 ever clients into a 3-month coaching package. One approached her and said, hey, can you coach me, after she saw her on a Facebook Live? And the other one, she had made an invitation to and said, would you, after that person approached her, she's like, oh, maybe offer to somebody else. And I think she's since had another person reach out and sold a 3rd package. So she literally, went from no clients on her way back to a full-time job to building her business because she has her plan and she has clients after one session.
That's huge. And that just brings me down to clarity equals cash. And working with you and doing this little mini intensive and even doing your free guidebook, it's going to give people clarity, and that clarity is going to give people cash, which is the whole point of their business. So good. Okay, so we've gone through all basically the 3 common mistakes. We can review that in a minute, but I'm going to just segue because we have time. I'd like to know from you, Julia. You are you do branding, you have some high-end clients that you do branding for, and you do retreats and things like that. But let's just talk a little bit about branding and why you think having and really creating this personal brand, why people need that now more than ever. Tell us about branding.
Well, for me personally, some people I can't even, I can't even, when I look at their brand, I can't take them serious if their brand is not serious. And, especially if I know they're a 6-figure earner and they're bootstrapping their brand, it's inauthentic to me, right? It's out of alignment.
Yeah.
If you're running this profitable, good business, you need a brand that backs it up and vice versa. Mm-hmm. So, personally, that's a differentiator for me. If somebody's brand sucks, no matter how good they are, I literally cannot work with them because they don't, it's you have to take your business serious, and to have a serious business, you have to have a brand that's on point.
Yeah, and I think that it's just been interesting because I've been doing this for so long, and I see brands, and you can get a feel, and people buy brands. We all buy brands. It's an emotional feel. So people do need to invest in their brand. And so what would be some steps for 6-figure people or even just brand new beginners? What would be your tips for them on how to build an authentic brand from the start or restart?
Yeah. Well, as far as an actual website goes, I'm not even a proponent of needing to have one of those in the beginning. What you really need is just a landing page, something that can capture people's attention and gives a taste of your flavor while you're working behind the scenes, either with a graphic designer or, to bootstrap your own website, which I teach in my academy exactly how to do that, you put that little kind of like a welcome mat, like coming soon or grab my, checklist here. And because it's all about getting a relationship started with those people. So it's like when you're dating, right? It's like, can I have your phone number? You don't just be like, hey, come on over to my house. Let me show you around. Like that's like your website's kind of just like your digital home.
Yep.
And you want to like get people's email address first and start building a relationship with them. Then it's like, oh, hey, come see what's on my blog or see what I have to offer or learn more about me. But people really don't need to see your website like up front. They need to get to know. They need to get to know you. So the most important thing is just to have at least a placeholder page that reflects your brand. Like mine's pink, so I could have started with just a hot pink page that said, website coming, December 1st.
Right.
Be the first to know. Get on the wait list here. While you're here, grab the 3 biggest mistakes online entrepreneurs make and how to avoid them.
Yeah.
I get somebody's email, and then I start building my relationship because in the email they get invited to my Facebook group and they get invited to free training, and then they're getting my emails, and I'm always sending out personal stories in my emails, and I mean they're going to my tribe, they're going to my people, so I start building that relationship. And when you're a personal brand, you are your brand.
Right.
So how I show up in my emails and how I sign off my emails and I put my signature in my emails, that's all part of my brand. And then, like, the website's just kind of like the finishing touch for it.
Yeah, I love it. Yeah, and it just shows your personality, and like you were saying in the beginning, that about the consistency, but it's about they like you for you, right? And we were talking about that the other day, how there was this one ad we were looking at, and it was so clear that that person was not my coach, right? Wasn't like a person I would go to for branding, but like for her people, it's absolutely perfect. So you just have to be you. So good. I actually am going to be really revealing in my new website shortly. It's actually up if you guys dare go look at it, but I'd rather.
I don't know.
I know. I'll post it in the BU and Make Bank group, and then there's a couple glitches. We've had some issues with it, so I haven't done the big reveal yet. Okay, so Julia, you're a rock star. I love you. I love your branding. I love all this content. I want to know, does anyone have a question either on the webcast or anyone who is watching? What you can do is press *2 if you're on the line with us, and then I'll be able to unmute you, or type it in the webcast because we're doing this on Instant Teleseminar as well, and also do it on the Facebook live stream if you'd like. So, and if there are no questions, what we'll do is we'll just do a quick wrap up. Julia, would you be willing to just kind of, review everything that we just went through, and then we'll finish it off?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Take from the top.
Okay. So the 3 big problems are, number 1, having too many courses and sources. Number 2 is feeling like a fraud. And number 3 is you don't have any plans, any marketing plan. The solution to number 1 is to stop consuming.
Right.
Find mentors that you like, align with. Super key there. Put out 2 times as much content as you consume.
Yeah, that's a good one.
That's going to help you.
That's huge.
Not get too many. Yeah. Okay. To not feel like a fraud, you want to just be yourself, always unapologetically you. You are imperfectly perfect just the way you are. You want to get really clear on what makes you so awesome, and I have a resource, juliaslike.com/likeaboss to help you do that. And you want to test market what you do to build your confidence. That's why you don't have clients, is because you're not confident, and you don't have confidence because you haven't tested your offer. And then the third problem is not having a plan. You need to make a plan. You need to get focused. You cannot be in overwhelm and in action at the same time. You need to get your beauty into action, and you need to create and use the workbook that I've given you today and create your own authentic marketing plan. And if you do that, big things will happen.
Big things will happen. Cool. And then go to Julia Slike, SLIKE.com/Amanda, and you can join Julia for her guidebook, her workbook, which is really gorgeous and well branded, and in my opinion, it's like crazy. It's free. It's so good. And then also you can, she's got 3 spots available for that $111. And what does that include? So like we get 2 calls. Are these calls like 20 minutes? Are they an hour? Like what is that? What does it look like? The calls.
Yeah, it's an hour-long strategy session, which I can get a lot done in an hour.
Yeah.
It's an hour-long strategy session. You get the recording, you get my notes, you get a flow chart. I use Lucidchart to mind map stuff, so you'll get a flow chart of your very own authentic marketing plan. I also use Trello for project planning, so I'll set up a Trello board for you that will give you like a checklist that you can literally check off when you do each step so you know what to do. And then we will have a 30-minute follow-up call that you can use if you get stuck while you're implementing your plan, or once things are going, you have questions that you can use. So it's crazy. I can't even believe I'm doing it.
I know, I love it. So when you do this, so this is, and in this marketing mini map intensive, so you're plotting out your whole marketing plan, like your free gift, for your, maybe even, are you even going to talk about the program and what to sell, etc.?
Yep.
Oh wow, that's
yeah. Fun. For instance, I have a travel agent that came to me, and so that's a service industry, but it's a little bit different. And so I really I got her clear on what she wants to do with her business, which is Disney. She loves planning Disney trips, and she actually gets a commission when people go through her, and then she'll actually help them plan the trip. But like they just have to use her link, and she gets paid. But if they go to like Disney and plan it, then they don't get a vacation planner. So I found out that that's what she loves, and so she's now creating like a Disney boot camp to help people know what to do when they're planning to go to Disney World. So it's something that they can do on their own, but then she can also walk. Like it's just crazy. So I helped her map all that out, and just stuff that she never thought of. And she invited her husband to the call, so he was there too. And so he got to kind of see how it was all going to flow. And so they are working on creating their Disney boot camp right now, which is going to lead to her signature offer, which is helping them book a vacation through her.
Nice. That's so fun.
All my...
And so, yeah, and so out of the box. I love it. So really all sorts of... And so what you said is like she's a vacation planner, but you helped her get clear on her passion, and her passion was all about the Disney plans.
Mm-hmm.
So that's...
Yeah, and then you know what? The cool thing, if I can share, was I asked her, I'm like, why? Like, why are you so passionate about people having awesome Disney trips? Because she's like, my daughter's too, and she still remembers our trips, and they're amazing family memories and time together. But she's like, I had a coworker that came into work one day who I didn't help plan a trip, and she said, it was terrible. She's never, ever going to Disney World again.
Aww.
And she's like, it broke my heart because it's such an amazing place to make amazing family memories. But people who don't know how to plan right or don't have someone help them planning, like, go at the wrong time, or they don't know all the ins and outs, and then they have this horrible experience and, like, never want to go again. And that's what she doesn't want for people.
That's heartbreaking because Disney is just so magical. You don't want to spoil that for anyone. Hard to believe. In my mind, I'm thinking, man, these people must be like pretty negative. If you have a bad time at Disney, then I mean that place is like you're so in the clouds, man. You're just like, this is where dreams come true. Oh my, okay, but I do know there are a lot of people out there that probably could find fault in that, but not. Sorry. Side note. Okay. Yeah, so you can really help. But before that, she was just a generalist, just a vacation planner. And now she's doing all this just specific niched Disney. Is that right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, you're a genius.
Yeah.
And you're just a genius with all this marketing and up to date and very current with marketing. So, Julia Slike, it's been a pleasure. I don't think we have any questiones at this moment, which people are really, I don't want to shame anyone. But you guys, I won't say you guys are crazy not to ask questions, but that's okay. So what I want you to do is follow up with Julia, juliaslike.com/Amanda. Follow her. She's a warm, loving, awesome heart, and you're smart as a whip, and you know so much about marketing. So thank you, Julia. It's been such a pleasure, and thank you everybody for watching. Final last words, Julia, I'll let you close us off.
My business is built on these 3 words: faith, heart, and hustle.
Ooh, faith, heart, and hustle.
Okay.
Yeah, that's true. I love it. Thank you. All right, everybody, have a beautiful day. We'll send out this replay, and if you are watching it on the social media or Facebook or whatever, you're welcome to share this around to anyone who you think would find value in it. And be sure to avoid these most common mistakes and go up there and rock out your businesses. Thanks, everybody. Bye. Bye, Julia.